Chad, this story time. My first time topping. Oh my goodness. Woo. This is cringy, but hey, you try everything in life once, right? So if you don't know me from a cane to pain, if this is your first time clicking on a video, girl, I am a bottom in every language you can think of. I am a bottom. And the thing about that is that I think a lot of people are aware of that, which is probably why some of the girls are gagging. You know, comment down below if you are gagging. With making this video, I do want to say this. There's a large amount of the community that says, why you gotta focus on being a top or on the bottom and blase. Like, I just want to say to those people, f you. No, it's not y'all fault. I knew one day I was gonna have to try it, but y'all had something because y'all comments and shit would be in the back of my head. There's a such thing in the gay community called bottom shaming. If you're feminine, you get shamed. You just get shamed, girl. So this story takes place, this is some time ago. This story takes place some time ago. And it all started off with me going on a nice little run outside. It was a beautiful day. The birds were chirping, bitch. The cat down the street was meowing and a dog in the backyard was barking, bitch. I absolutely adore going on long runs. Like, not long run, maybe I should say jogging. It's very, very therapeutic to me, you know, and I always look forward to it. Like, I make it a whole excursion. It's like a fucking field trip for me just to go out in nature and connect with nature. I think that's something that a lot of people should start doing more. There was a time before we became adults where we were children. We used to go outside and play. Bitch, that felt good. It feels good to go on long run walks in different neighborhoods, on different trails and shit like that, as long as you safe about it. This day, girl, I was trying to get my jog on. When I go jogging, my favorite thing to wear are tights and a crop top or tights and like an oversized shirt. This particular day, I put on my tights with my crop top, bitch, and my little Adidas hat, and I said, girl, we about to go running, period. As I'm running outside, this particular day, I remember taking a different trail than the normal trail that I would take. I say, okay, girl, I done been on this trail 2 months in a row. It's time for some new scenery. You gotta switch it up. That's how you keep it fun. You switch it up, you know? So I looked around as I got to the end of the street and I said, let's go this way. It was just like my higher self told me, bitch, go this way today. So I went that way. I shouldn't call it a trail because it was just a long sidewalk, but y'all know in the neighborhoods they be having long sidewalks. I get to a section of the neighborhood where the sidewalk had met, like the houses were on like a main road. Okay, that's how I explain it. The houses were on a main road instead of like neighborhood. I'm out of the neighborhood, the houses are on the main road, but there's still a sidewalk right there, so I'm running. As I'm running, I noticed this man from a distance, like down the street, is like staring me down, like he like a block down and I can see him looking at me from a block away. I'm like, what is he looking at? One thing about Kenneth Senegal, my love, is that Kenneth Senegal serves fish, okay? If it wasn't for my big ass hands and size 12 shoe, when I'm running, I don't like receiving attention like that. I really don't. It's just more comfortable for me to run in my tights, you know, with this ass. You know, it's just a little more comfortable to run in my tights. But I don't like attention, which is why I'm always wearing a hat, so I never make eye contact with anybody. And if I'm coming along somebody, I can just look down. I don't like making contact with people. I just don't, especially in times like this. It's just interesting. As I'm getting closer to homeboy's house, he was messing with like his car in his driveway or something, and he ended up going inside. He went inside. I paid it no mind until I reached like the end of the trail. I busted a U-ey. It was like 0.5 miles past his house. I bust a U-ey and I run the same way back. As I'm running, I get closer and closer to his house and I notice that this man is outside. Now, my spider senses, you know, my intuition, the Pisces in me, my higher self, my ancestors and angel guides and everybody else in between said, bitch, this man is checking for you. So the closer I got to his house, because bitch, I'm a flirt. Like, I'm a flirt. I'm a huge flirt. Okay, honey, I love flirting. Like, it's just in my DNA. Especially with like anybody that's like presenting some type of masculine energy. Or I don't know if I'm a huge flirt or it's my sexual energy sometimes. I think it's more so my sexual energy. My sexual energy is very, very vibrant, specifically around masculine energy. Over the years, I've really had to learn how to control that because sometimes it would just be like uncontrollable. uncontrollable shit. You know what I mean? That's what it means to control it. It was uncontrollable. I can't even make eye contact with some guys. I just can't, because they go think something, I'ma think something, and I'm probably thinking it because he thought it first. I don't be thinking shit first. I don't. But like I said, I noticed he was checking on me, so I slowed down. My jog slowed down to a complete walk. But I wasn't even walking a walk. I was taking a stroll at this point, girl. And the closer I had got, he ended up going inside. I started thinking to myself like, oh, he wasn't really interested. I was just making it up. Nope, I wasn't making it up. Your intuition always right. Your higher self always right. Listen to that bitch. I passed up his house and this man standing in his doorway. He had like a glass door. Y'all know how the front doors be in certain cities. I don't know if that's every front door, but in this city, the front door was a glass door and then it was the actual door, okay? And he's standing in front of the glass door in his doorway. Am I explaining that right? I feel like I just made that complicated for no reason. But he's standing there and I can see him looking at me. So like I said, girl, I'm a flirt, but my throat. Like I said, girl, my throat. Okay. Like I said, girl, I'm a flirt. And if I see you checking for me, oh, I'm going to tease, okay? So what did I do? I stopped like a few inches away past his house, a few feet. I'm not gonna drag it and say inches. A few feet away from his house where I knew he could still see me. I bent over in my tights, ass looking real fat, and I started tying my shoes. Bend it over, bend it over, hey, bend it over, bend it, I bent over, I started tying my shoes, baby. When I tell you I turned around, this nigga was on brick. Girly dick was poking out the basketball shorts and he started gripping and groveling in it. I said, ooh, remind you, I'm fully clothed. I know you can see the ass to the tights. I know you can see the body, yada yada. Baby, I'm fully clothed, not on brick. Girl, I turned around to this man gripping and groveling. What did I do? I took off running. I said, tease, I ain't giving the goodies up yet. In that little short time, I got to check him out decently, and from what I had seen, he was, you know, cute. He was my height. Actually, he was not my height, but like an inch or two taller than me, but he was around my height. I'm 6 foot, so he had to be like 6'1", 6'2". I paid it no mind. Part of me wanted to turn around and like really go see what he was talking about, because he clearly wanted something to pop off right then and there. At this time in my life, I was very much so on my, I mean, how I am now still, I was very much so on my, I don't want to do nothing with just anybody. Like, I need to be in a relationship or something in order to do something with somebody these days. Very much so asexual adjacent. Shout out to Lamont. I get home and I'm still thinking about it. Honestly, it was kind of hot. It was hot because something like that specifically had never happened to me. As I'm thinking about it, as I'm at home, I said, I should have just went for it. I should have just been a whore. Why not? Like, we only live once. Have fun. Be safe though, but have fun. We only live once, girl. If it's an inkling that you feel like, if it's something you feel like doing, do it. You know, don't think too hard about it. I think too hard about everything. So I ended up taking that same exact route to go running, like even more. I believe like 2-3 weeks had passed. I ended up in that 2 or 3 weeks time span, I would go running each day at the same time just to increase my chances of running into him. And I don't know, desperate shit, because we can get it. Okay, that's never been a problem. We can get the dick. That's never been a problem. What's been a problem is relationships. But that's never been a problem, babe. Never that. But I think it was more so of like curiosity, and it just really being like kind of, it was a hot moment, you know, like it was something that stuck with me. Eventually I had ended up like kind of forgetting about him and not really worrying about it. And that, Lord and behold, they said it always show up when you're not looking for it. Lord and behold, that's when I end up running into him again. I think I had noticed him prior to him noticing me this specific day, because I had seen him in his car from like when I got on his block. I don't know how to explain blocks and streets and shit, bitch, I'm sorry. But when I had got on his block, that's when I had seen him immediately. And I just ran on past his car or whatever, busted Yui, and as I'm running back, he waves me down to come to the car, child, and I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. So I get up to the car, and before I can even speak, he like, what's up? And I'm like, nothing, like, nothing. What you, nothing? We exchanged a few words, and not even like 5 sentences into us talking, he immediately starts like looking at me like deeper, like with conviction, like confused, like what's going on over here. I knew immediately that he was trying to figure out if I was a boy or a girl. Bitch, as he's looking at me trying to figure it out, the question comes out before I can even process what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking like, oh, this nigga trying to clock me. This nigga trying to clock me. Not that there's anything to clock, because I live my life as me, very much so gender fluid, non-binary, like what is it? Like I'm very free. You know, I live my life as me, so there's nothing ever to clock. You could really address me. People always ask me for my pronouns. You could address me as whatever you see fit, whatever you want to. I'm very comfortable with all pronouns, they, them, he, she. It's absolutely whatever. On this side of the park, I am a multi-dimensional human made up of all type of things. I do think I was a woman in past lives, but I have been put in this body for a reason, clearly. So, you know, that's just what it is. So I wasn't really tripping, but I could tell that he was trying to figure it out. I told him my tea, how I just spilled my tea to y'all, and he asked for my number, and I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. Right off back within the first like few minutes of us talking through text message, now I could tell that he was just trying to fuck. You can always tell if somebody trying to fuck or if somebody trying to get to know you. He was just trying to fuck, child. We start conversing. I don't remember the conversation verbatim. I could pull up the text messages right now, but we'll say that for Patreon. The question that really led to everything was, what are you into? He asked me, what are you into? What all are you into? Something along that line. And I ended up telling him what I'm into. I told him how I was really usually like very submissive. He started asking me like if I knew how to be dominant, things like that. He started asking me the full nine, bitch. Okay, once again, we'll save all the TT for Patreon. Y'all just getting a very general story. Sorry, not sorry. But he asked me this and I told him like basically what I was into. I told him that I usually bottom. He follows up and he asks me, well, have you ever topped? And I get this question very seldomly, but I do get this question. With me, people usually already know. Like, just straight up, people usually already know my tea because I wear my tea. Like, not that I wear all bottoms act like me, not at all, but I wear my tea, like, you know, with me, you know, it's in my energy, it's in the way I walk, it's in the way I talk, it's in the way my ass is fit. I tell him no, I'm not, and he continues and he asks me, well, will you ever do it? I tell him I'll never say never, but I am into bottoming. And he replies, all right, cool, when we go chill. This was the ending of a week and he wanted to hook up the next weekend. So the next weekend comes and I end up making my way to his place. I make my way to his place and almost immediately we get to hooking up. So we doing the things or whatever, and he just like took complete control, and it was really, it was good. Like it was, everything was going well. Swell, he had a little doggy, put the doggy in the cage. We went straight to his room. We started doing the things. It had even got to a point where he started like kissing me, and he said, I usually don't kiss like nobody, but your lips are so irresistible, or whatever fantasy he sold me, girl. The fantasy he was selling, I bought into it. You know, we're doing things. All in his room, different positions, stuff like that. We get to a point where I'm on my back and my legs are up in the air. Girl, my legs is up in the air and sir is just going, not me trying to get quiet, bitch, like somebody gonna hear me. My legs is up in the air and sir is, you know, doing his due diligence, going to town. I don't know which other way to explain it. You know, he was hitting spots. He was hitting them. As he is hitting these spots though, and this penis that I'm receiving is good, you know, he starts to whisper things into my ear, sweet nothings, all in my ear. Take this and take that, and you like this and you like that, and you know, real honcho, like real, like, I'm into it. I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes. All of that. I'm into it. And then out of nowhere, y'all, it's like the honcho-ness, it just disappeared. It just disappeared and it started getting real pussy. I felt the energy shift. I felt the strokes, they got different. They felt different. All of a sudden I said, okay, this don't feel like the strokes I was getting a few minutes ago. It just didn't. This man whispers in my ear and tells me that I want you, you know, he says, I want, no! My bottom card has been revoked, bitch. I was like the queen of bottom, like what? Demoted, bitch. This man whispers in my ear. Wait, because before we get there, I should have knew that this was going to come when this man told me I was too pretty to give head. I said, okay. Now I done been with a few. Not a lot, but I've been with a few. And none. This was the first. This was the first time anybody told me anything related to being too cute to give head. Anything. This was the first. With these lips, that's the first thing I've asked. But I get asked that daily on Instagram DMs from people that I don't even know. Can I get them lips? You know, with these money makers? Not like that. Bitch, y'all know I get paid to wear lipstick sometimes, okay? Don't play with me. I should have knew something was off then, but I paid everything. I didn't pay no mind. I was in a moment. He asked me to top him. Or did he ask me to take him? He said something. He said some faggot shit. He turned it to, we switched positions. Switching up positions for you. He took that to new levels. I feel like I'm getting less pussy as the more I talk about this. Let me reapply some lip something or something, because this is just, I can't believe I went through with this. In all seriousness, just be who you are. Be who you are. Like, explain it. Just be who you are. Like, I don't know. Like, don't be one way behind closed doors, one way. I mean, I guess that's your prerogative. I just prefer people that's just who they is all the time. Genuinely, you know? And you don't have to switch it up and be pussy to be a bottom or anything. I have plenty of mask for past bottoms watching this, I'm sure. I know some of my subscribers are like, you know, masculine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be who you are, like, all the time. If you get a little more pussy, that's acceptable. But when I tell you, he turned into, take me, like it gave more pussy than I was giving. I felt upstaged. Like, I felt like he was trying to compete. Like, it doesn't have to be all that. Just be who you are. Y'all get where I'm coming from. I'm no one to put anybody in a box. I stand against all boxes. Do what you want to do, but be who you want to. You get me. So he asked me to do, you know, and I had to make a quick decision. I was in a moment, okay, and I end up saying yes. Long story short, pause. What it is that I get shamed a lot of times for being so overly feminine. I get shamed from like all arenas, even within my own like, queer community. Even in the queer community, I get shamed for being so feminine sometimes, you know? So it disgusts me when that's what you truly are, but you choose to present. My problem, and I know this is derailing off topic, I probably should make a whole video about this, but my problem with so many, like, you know, the masculine gays that always complain about, like, you know, femininity and blase, but they're like super feminine behind closed doors. It's like you're hiding who you are. Just be who you are. Because more than anything, that disgusts me, okay? And that could explain what was to come next. I knew one day I was going to have to try it. I knew I was going to have to try it one day. And I said, why not, you know, just try it now, I guess. You know, I'm in a moment. We're doing this. Nobody has, you know, ejaculated yet, etc, etc, etc. Let's do it. I said yes. I said yes. And also with what I had just said, I know people like me that rather top. It's a large arena of things out here. He ends up, you know, getting up, going over to his little dresser or whatever, and he ends up on his top drawer and grabbing a condom. Now, when he pulled this out, girl, I said, bitch, I never applied a condom onto myself. Girl, he had me this thing, and I started trying to put it on. I put it on the tray before, but I never put it. It was just a whole bunch of new experiences at once. I had never put it on myself because it was just like never needed for me, you know? So when he handed me this, girl, I tried to put her on, and you know, it took me a little bit, but it got on. It got on. Once I got it on, he decides to bend it over the bed, and here I am about to go in. I'm getting more and more uncomfortable as the story goes along. He's tuned up in the air, but arch deeper than mine, and I have a mean arch. But this was an arch, girl, like a cat, like just no backbone. I don't know, just like I was amazed. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. In this very moment, I'm trying to ramp up the masculine, and I'm about to go in. I'm about to do the Trey how the Trey usually do me, bitch. Okay. And the minute I get ready to insert, the whole time I think I'm busting sweats. Like, picture just nervous, doing something for the first time, about to bust sweats. Me. About the like trying to stroke. Like, what? I can move my hips over this stroking. As soon as I get ready to insert, bitch, I saw it's like the biggest loser. Like, bitch, go. Bitch, I was like, I was confused. I felt like my life was flashing in front of me. I stood there for, it wasn't no longer than 5 minutes. I stood there for about 2-3 minutes trying to make something shake. Nothing was shaking, nothing was standing. I was not into it. It's just not me. Like, it's as simple. I just wasn't into it. I just couldn't. So you know what happened after that? I end up leaving. I think he got turned off from it. I got turned off from it. I told you what it was. I told you who I was before I walked in the door. I told you who I was. You seen who I was. You seen who I was when I was running. I'm not the one pretending here at all, because you turned into a woman. Back to the conversation of, like, you don't have to be masculine to be a top, or you don't have to be feminine to be a bottom, etc, etc, etc. You don't. I know plenty of mask for mask bottom. I know so many of them. You know, it's what makes up majority of the gay community. Literally. It was just the way that he just switched. Like, it was clear that he was not living in his truth at all, and it just turned me off. And I went home, and that was it. And the thing with me and topping, okay, I hope my future partner is just into topping and that's it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's not what I'm into. But I do think if I were to do it again, it would have to be with somebody I'm in love with, because that feeling of love does so much more. Intimacy is so much better when it's somebody that you love, when it's somebody you're in a relationship with or something like that. Just somebody you have a connection with. So I think if that ever happens in the future, I definitely, it needs to be somebody I have a connection with. But even then, it's like, that's just not what I'm into. I'm so puss that I don't even like usually touch myself when I'm doing the things. I don't touch myself. I can ejaculate without touching myself. Like, as long as you're hitting the spots, oh girl, tie me up, hands behind my back. Literally. I like head sometimes, you know, that's cute. That's cute sometimes. But outside of that, it's just not, you know, it's just what it is. For anybody out there that is like me, or not even like me, but anybody out there that just knows they're not interested in topping, don't feel forced to do it, because I didn't feel the best after. I didn't feel like terrible about myself, but I didn't feel the best after it. And I'm here to tell you, I Kenneth, Senegal, mother, Heflawless, I tried it for you. If that's not what you're into, do not do what you are not into. Someone, don't let anybody peer pressure you into doing that. He called me in a moment. He got lucky. However, I bet you it won't happen again. Girl, I don't crave sex that much. I would prefer a connection, a solid connection, because I know what a solid connection can do for me, rather than sex. I'd rather my heart always flutter than have sex. You get what I'm saying? Sex is just an additive to me. Anyways, that is the end of this story time. I hope you all enjoyed this particular video. If you enjoyed this video, comment down below. Let me know that you enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see all of my babies in the next video. As always, be sure to flip your hair. Even if you don't have any hair, be sure to flip it after you get done flipping your hair. Make sure you feel like you are that bitch, because we are all those girls of the world. Even if you don't feel like you are that girl of the world, I'm here to tell you that you are that girl. I love you all, and it's always stay flawless.